Welcome back to the channel, Muda family. We have recently been seeing Ethereum pumping and pumping like crazy too. It has been hitting all-time highs almost every week or every month. But what is funny is that back in April, we saw Ethereum crash real hard. Ethereum crashed all the way to about $1,800, $1,400. And right around that time, everyone was posting, hey, Ethereum is dead, Ethereum is dead, Ethereum is dead. And they're all giving various reasons right around the dump, the crash right here. But hey, to everyone's shock, Ethereum has more than 2x since April, which is just a few months ago. It has more than 2x and it has hit all-time highs almost every 2 weeks. Like currently it's at $1,500, but it went as high as $4,800. So since April to right now, it has done over 120. Now just imagine you put in a little bit of money in April. Right now you would have more than 120% profit from that. So what really happened? Why is Ethereum pumping, and why exactly did it pump? Because at least in the state the market is in right now, it seems to be the top performer when it comes to a gain perspective. So even in comparison or in contrast to Bitcoin, it has done more gains, much more gains, at least over the past couple of months. Now don't get me wrong, Bitcoin has also been going hard, but Ethereum seems to be pumping like crazy. So the question is, why? And one of the major reasons that Ethereum is pumping is institutions. See, we've been seeing major inflows from institutions into Ethereum. Look, in August alone, the EtherSpot ETF pulled in $3.87 billion, which is crazy. And Grayscales pulled in about 4.6 billion. And these are not just like small startups, these are major institutions. See, Ethereum pulled in more in ETFs, even more than Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin's inflows were around 750 million in that same time period, just in August last month. And Ethereum pulled in 3.87 billion. And this is insane. This is basically telling you the trajectory of Ethereum. In fact, most people speculate that from a gains perspective, Ethereum is probably going to get you more when it comes to do with gains and profits. So in comparison again to Bitcoin, Ethereum is going to have a bigger multiplication effect. But on top of having serious institutional inflows, we're now seeing huge corporate treasuries scooping up Ethereum. See, these are the big entities holding crypto on their balance sheets. Now, we have seen over 2.2 million ETH right here. See, now corporate treasuries have scooped over 2.2 million ETH. And see, that is crazy because that is about 1.8% of the total Ethereum supply taken off the market. That's now real, what I call real accumulation. Again, as investors would say, look at where the big money is going. That's where the market is going. And just to show how much people believe in Ethereum, we're seeing a lot more ETH that is being staked on Ethereum. Look, there's over 35 million ETH staked. Now that is really crazy because that's about $48 billion that is locked in staking contracts. That's just this year alone. Just this year alone. And the staking on Ethereum has grown from these figures over 70%. What does that mean? That means that there is less ETH floating around on exchanges and on various decentralized platforms. Less supply, more demand. Less supply, more demand causes the market to go up, specifically for this asset. And so when supply gets squeezed and demand spikes, we all know what happens, as we have witnessed in the markets recently for ETH. So where does this go from here? If ETF inflows stay strong, if staking keeps locking up supply, and if we continue to see like crazy on-chain activity, people actually transacting on Ethereum, and right now there's over 1.7 million transactions a day on ETH. And if we continue to see that kind of activity, we are looking at, and most analysts as well are speculating that Ethereum is going to go over $5,500 to the $6,000 range. That's over the next few months, give or take 3 to 4 months. And look, that's a conservative estimate, but if we continue to see the market as sweet as it is right now, climbing the way it is, pumping the way it is, we're probably going to see a $7,000 ETH price. And that is a speculation for before this year gets done. And it's remaining with about, 4 months to get done? Because, look at this. If it jumped from 1,400 in April all the way to close to $5,000 today, in just a few months, then surely it can definitely jump from 4,500 to 7,000 to 8,000 to 9,000. See, anything is possible in crypto. With the right market conditions, anything is possible. But hey, this is not financial advice. Just to specify, this is not financial advice. Please endeavor to do your own research. And with that said, you have to make calculated decisions and calculated investments. So we are sort of giving you info which explains basically the market pump, specifically for Ethereum, and possibly the gradual yet continuing market pump for this specific asset. And in comparison to the other top performers, specifically among the top 10, it seems to be one of the tokens that has significant upside. But we are curious to know what you think about this specific asset, or if you have invested in Ethereum. Did you invest when it was at $1,400? When did you get into the market? Or did you invest when it was like at $200 years ago or $100 years ago? We would want to hear from you what you think and why the market is possibly pumping and has pumped for this specific asset down in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button to get notified when we upload and post a new video. Like, share,